start with a new chapter, pressure in fluids and atmospheric pressure. So before we come to the pressure, okay, we will discuss the first thing about the term thrust. Now this thrust actually is a force. It is a force. But this term thrust is applicable only in a fluid, that is the liquid. So when we come to the force, okay, now force act on a surface in all the directions. The force will act on the surface in all the directions. That means it acts downwards, it acts upward, it acts sidewards. In every direction, the force will act on the surface. But when the force will act perpendicular or normal to the surface, when the force will act perpendicular, that means normal means 90 degree. When the force will act straight, okay, when the force will act normal or perpendicular on the surface, then that force we call it as a thrust. So thrust is a force which acts normally on the surface. So thrust and force, they are same, but the only difference is that the thrust will act normal to the surface, perpendicular, whereas the force will act in all the direction of the surface. Okay, and this thrust, since the thrust and force, they are same, so therefore now this thrust is equal to the weight of the body. Thrust is equal to the weight of the body, which means force equals to m into g. Okay, so weight equals also m into g, because force and weight, they are related, because weight of a body is the force which is attracted by the Earth's gravity. Okay, and force is a physical cause which tends to change the state of rest or the state of motion of the body. So that is, they are same. So force equals to m into g. I can write here W equals to m into g. So therefore, since now what I can write here, force equals to mg. Mg means W. Force equals to weight of the body. Force is equals to weight of the body. Likewise, since thrust is a force, so therefore thrust is equals to W means weight, so therefore weight of a body. So therefore thrust equals to weight of a body. Okay. Now next point is there, unit of thrust. The SI unit of thrust is Newton. CGS unit of thrust is time. Since thrust is a force, because the SI unit of and CGS unit of force is Newton and time, so therefore the CGS and SI unit of thrust will also be same as that of force. That is, the SI unit of force is Newton, SI unit of thrust is Newton, and the CGS unit of thrust is time. Now the next point is the gravitational unit of thrust. The gravitational unit of thrust is in MKS unit, that is SI unit. MKS unit is kilogram force. Okay, the gravitational unit of thrust in MKS unit is kilogram force, and the gravitational unit of thrust in CGS unit is gram force. And there is a relation between the kilogram force and the Newton. 1 kilogram force equals to 9.8 Newton. Okay, similarly 1 gram force is equals to 980 dyne. Is it clear? It is equals to 980 dyne. So this is the relation between the Newton SI unit of thrust and the gravitational unit of thrust in MKS unit. So this is the relation between the CGS unit of thrust and the gravitational unit of thrust in CGS system or CGS unit. So this is about the thrust. Now the next point is pressure. So before we come to the pressure, let us discuss about the effects of force or effect of thrust. Now the effect of thrust on a surface, the effect of this is the surface, okay? This is the surface, this is the surface. The effect of thrust on a surface depends upon the surface area. Okay, the effect of thrust, the effect of force, we will say, or thrust. The effect of force or thrust on a surface depends upon the surface area of the body or surface area. Likewise, there are various effects of force. You know that. The force can change the shape and size. The force can make a body to move. The force can make a body to stop. Force can change the direction. Force can change the so many effects the force has got. Similarly, thrust also has got some effect. Okay, and this effect, how does that effect will act on the surface? So that means the effect of thrust on a surface depends upon the surface area of the body, or depends on the surface area. That means larger the surface area, lesser the effect of the thrust. Remember that. Larger the surface area, lesser the effect of the thrust. Smaller the surface area, greater the effect of the thrust. For this, I'll give you one example. You take a sand, a loose sand. You put a sand on the surface, on the floor, on the ground, and you just keep your feet, only the feet, on the sand. Your feet will sink inside the sand. Your feet will sink inside the sand. Okay, that means it will sink deeper inside the sand. Now, next one, what you do, you just remove the feet and lie your body on the sand. You just lie your body down on the sand. The body will not get sink on the sand. So what difference you will find is that when you keep the feet on the sand, your feet will sink because the surface area. Okay, that means when you put the feet on the sand, what will happen here? The force is acting perpendicular. Look at it. The force is acting perpendicular, normal. Okay, and the effect is more because the surface area, where surface area means the surface area of the sand which it comes in contact with your feet is small. Okay, surface area of the sand is surface area. That means let us consider that sand is a surface and you are just giving a force or thrust on the sand. So when you give a thrust on the sand or force on the sand, your feet will sink deeper inside the sand, on the sand. But whereas when you lie on the sand, your body will not sink. That means what difference you will find is that when you lie the body on the sand, the surface area of your body will become more. So the effects of thrust will be less. And when you put only the feet on the sand, the feet will sink on the sand. So that means the surface area is less and therefore the effect is more. So this example shows that the effect of thrust depends upon the surface area. So larger the surface area, lesser the effect of thrust. Smaller the surface area, more the effect of thrust. So regarding to this, okay, so thrust depends upon the surface area. Okay, so thrust, the effect of, that means this effect of thrust, the effect of thrust depends upon the surface area, and this effect is given by a relation known as the pressure. Okay, this effect of thrust is given by a new term known as the pressure. So therefore, what happens is that now pressure equals to thrust divided by area. Pressure equals to thrust divided by area, and it is a physical quantity. Now this effect of force is denoted by a physical quantity, and that physical quantity is a pressure. Okay, so pressure is given by thrust divided by area. So pressure is defined as a thrust per unit area. Okay, and this pressure is produced due to the effect of thrust. This pressure is produced due to the effect of thrust. If the thrust will not produce any effect, so the pressure will not be exerted here. So always when the force is exerted, when the thrust is exerted on the surface area, always the pressure will be produced here, and the pressure can be more or less. Okay, and the smaller the surface area, lesser will be the pressure. More will be the pressure, because why the more the pressure will be exerted here? Because your feet is going deeply inside the sand. So the thrust will exert here, and thrust is depending upon the surface area. So therefore, when we come to the term pressure, pressure is defined as a thrust per unit area. So therefore, now pressure is defined as a thrust per unit area, and this pressure has come from the effects of thrust. Okay. Now let us come to the unit of pressure. The unit of pressure is now the CGS unit of thrust is dyne. The SI, the CGS unit of area is centimeter square, So therefore, the CGS unit of pressure is time per centimeter square. Similarly, the SI unit of thrust is Newton, SI unit of area is meter square. Therefore, the SI unit of pressure is Newton per meter square. Newton per meter square. Okay, and this Newton per meter square, and this can be also be written as Pascal, because this was discovered by a scientist known as the Blaise Pascal. Okay, so pressure, the unit of pressure can be written as Newton per meter square, or can be written as Pascal. So this is the CGS and the SI unit of pressure. In the next class, we will come to the next one, that is about the effects, factors affecting the pressure. Thank you.